This whole thing started with a dream. Cass had always wanted a classic GT350, that's her dream car, no question. And after talking about it for what felt like forever, she just decided it was finally time. So she started scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. And yeah, you already know how that goes. A whole lot of junk, a lot of ran when parked, but when we saw this, a black 65 Mustang coupe sitting rough enough to be interesting, but clean enough to look manageable. It was listed at $7 grand just outside Columbus, Georgia. The photos didn't hide much. Faded paint, a rough interior, a hole in the rear quarter panel, and rust. Plenty of rust, but I figured I've seen worse, nothing I couldn't handle. The sellers were two cousins. They said they'd found the car in a barn, had to cut trees down just to get it out. It had been sitting for decades, half sunk into the dirt. They got it running just well enough to make it around the block, hit it with a whole body with a rattle-can paint, and threw it up on Marketplace. That's when we found what would turn out to be the biggest project I've ever taken on, and man, I was excited. Cass finally had her dream car, and I finally had a project worth documenting. Every car has a story. This one, this 65 Mustang Coupe 289, has lived a full life before I even walked the earth. It's got just 39,000 original miles on it. It's been hit, rusted, buried, forgotten, and nearly lost to time. And now we're bringing it back from the dead. So here it is, a 1965 Mustang, 39,000 original miles. When we first picked them up, I thought it'd be an easy install, patch a few holes in the floor pans, replace a few parts, clean up the paint, make it really easy. But this guy, he had some other plans. So here it is, a 1965 Mustang, 39,000 original miles. When we first picked them up, I thought it'd be an easy install, patch a few holes in the floor pans, replace a few parts, clean up the paint, make it really easy. But this guy, he had some other plans. Before we get too far into things, a little bit to know about me. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in industrial design at SCAD, where I found my love for design. I was always a kid who liked to figure out how things were made, how to put them back together or take them apart, and sometimes not be able to put them back together. But the thing that's always been rooted in me and in my blood is cars. I've always been driving, and I've had family riddled with it. So working on something this awesome, this old, has been a dream of mine. I just wasn't so sure I'd have this serious of a project just yet. After we got Bruce home, we gave him a proper rinse and finally got to see what we were actually working with. Starting with the exterior, the body looked decent at first glance, but you know how it goes. Water reveals everything. Filler lines, surface rust, misaligned panels. It was clear this thing had some history. The passenger rear quarter had a pretty good hole, and the battery tray was basically dust. There was rust on the fenders, under the doors, and even a few sketchy patches that looked like someone tried to fix it in the past. Moving inside, yeah, the interior was a mess. Torn seats, cracked dash, aged door panels, missing headliner, and plenty of stuff left behind. We found a carnival ticket from the 80s, a pile of change, stacks of notes, a big old bag of chewing tobacco in the rear seat, and a straight up smut book under the driver's seat. That's when we finally started to feel the story behind this car. It had lived. Under the hood, it was the same story. Everything looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. Cracked hoses, corrosion everywhere, a leaking diff, and a whole lot of guessing work about what still worked. It was one of those moments where reality set in. This wasn't going to be a quick flip, but at that point, we were already committed. Even with all the grime and wear, Bruce had good bones, the frame looked solid, and there were little signs of potential peeking through all the rust. But after every time we looked closer, something new popped up. Sketchy wiring, bolts missing, all kinds of backyard fixes. It was like a treasure hunt if the treasure was headaches. Still, there was something cool about peeling back the layers. Every crusty corner told a bit more of Bruce's story, and now that we had him, we weren't going to stop halfway. So we named him Bruce. Felt just right. Like an old bruiser that's taken some hits, but still has some fight left in him. So here we are, a dream car for Cass, one of the biggest projects I've ever faced, but from here on, Bruce is part of the family, our Brucey boy. We're going to make sure that he comes back and he comes back strong.